this episode of American Greed, James Morgan McGill has a secret weapon, his mouth.
What do the Irish call it? Blarney. Well, that man could spin a tale with the best of them. Or he could even hold a jury in the palm of his hand.
Oh, to be 19 again.
Do you remember 19? Yeah, you do.
Armed with just a correspondence school law degree, he sets up shop in the back of a nail salon. As a public defender, he fights for the little guy and wins. But helping people soon loses its cachet. Jimmy McGill sees new opportunities for making money. And with that comes a bigger office and a whole new identity.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do, and so do I.
Commercials, billboards, and bus benches across New Mexico exclaim his trademarked catchphrase.
Better call Saul!
Better call Saul.
Better call Saul.
Clients beat a path to his door. One of them, an unassuming high school chemistry teacher, changes Goodman's life forever. The teacher has a peculiar nickname, Heisenberg. For him, Saul Goodman launders untold millions and covers up the most heinous of crimes.
Walter White was the most notorious meth kingpin this country's ever seen. He destroyed lives and terrorized the Southwest. But he couldn't have done it without Saul Goodman.
In the early hours of March 20th, 2010, police and DEA agents descend upon a quiet strip mall in the northeast corner of the city. Looming above them, 30 feet tall, stands an inflatable Statue of Liberty. Beneath its watchful eye, they enter the office of Saul Goodman and Associates. Inside, they discover styrofoam columns and an oversized image of the Constitution plastered on the wall, signature backdrops for Goodman's commercials.
I fight for you, Albuquerque.
But the columns are toppled, and a mysterious hole has been dug into the sheetrock. What was stashed in this secret hiding place? Francesca Liddy, Saul Goodman's secretary, is detained for questioning. According to District Attorney Suzanne Erickson, Goodman himself has vanished without a trace.
The beginning of the end was when we had two federal agents, Hank Schrader and Steve Gomez, go missing. Schrader was Walter White's brother-in-law. We had to presume them deceased, which sadly turned out to be the case. But that's when the whole house of cards began to crumble for White. He and his partner, Jesse Pinkman, disappeared, and Goodman followed suit.
Despite his verbal superpowers, Saul Goodman has finally found a situation he can't talk his way out of. But where is he now? Rumors abound. Did he flee the country? Is he dead? Murdered by his former associates?
Well, first off, he's alive. I will go on record completely alive.
Fingers crossed.
Definitely not dead. The world is not that lucky. While there's still good, honest people in the world, he will have a steady supply of victims, like us.
Unfortunately, that's what we are. We're victims.
Yep. We're survivors.
We're survivors. Yep.
Craig Kettleman is the former treasurer of Bernalillo County. He and his wife, Betsy, find themselves exploited by Saul Goodman.
He courted us as clients, and oh, where to begin? I mean, he lied to us, yeah, and gave us terrible legal advice, absolute malpractice, really. I mean, he actively tried to ruin us.
He broke into our house and stole...
Really, it's too many things to list.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right from the start, he was the kind of lawyer guilty people hire.
Which was not us.
Yeah, and when we first met this person, he was still going by his given name. You know, this Saul Goodman business came later. Back then, he was just trading on the family reputation.
In 1992, Jimmy McGill works in the mailroom at Hamlin McGill, where his brother Charles is a named partner. Charles Lindbergh McGill is known far and wide as a brilliant attorney. Highly esteemed, his reputation for honesty and legal acumen is second to none. Jimmy idolizes his older sibling. But according to Deputy District Attorney Bill Oakley, that respect never flows both ways.
Chuck McGill was a god around these parts. He was like the second coming of Clarence Darrow. And then his brother becomes a lawyer. Slippin' Jimmy with a mail-ordered diploma from University of wherever it is. I mean, wow. And the guy had street smarts, but come on. I can't imagine how humiliating that must have been for Chuck. Still, trading on Chuck's name got Jimmy a job at a big Santa Fe law firm. Nice office with a window. Of course, he blew that one. Toot sweet.
Sometimes I kind of think maybe his older brother was everything Jimmy wanted to be but wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Jimmy, Saul, maybe we're talking about a person who lived his life in someone's shadow. You know, when I think about it like that,
We
I
don't
kind of
feel sorry for him.
No.
No, he made his bed.
He made it, yep.
And now he has to sleep in it.
Yep.
Forging his own path, Jimmy leaves Hamlin McGill and goes into private practice. Dabbling in the field of elder law, he institutes a large class-action lawsuit against a chain of retirement homes.
Sandpiper Crossing. That was quite a case. He was colorful. And this was even before the crazy suits, the new name. But he could be a formidable adversary if he didn't feel this constant need to cut corners. Had he kept that under control, who knows how far he could have gone. He and Kim, those were two smart cookies.
Kimberly Wexler is a bright and ambitious young woman Jimmy meets in the HHM mailroom. She becomes a fellow attorney, a business partner, and eventually Jimmy's wife.
For the life of me, I don't know what she saw in him. Never understood it.
For a time, life is good. Jimmy finds his practice flourishing. He builds a reputation for providing advocacy that's vigorous, if unconventional.
You feel confident that you can identify this person. That's what you're saying.
I can. It's him, your client.
Would you be surprised to learn, Mr. Harkness, that the person you just pointed to is not the defendant?
What?
And my client is in the back of the courtroom. Mr. Sakey, would you please stand up?
Objection!
Oh, mister, good night.
But the lure of easy money is seductive. Along with his name change, Saul Goodman pivots to a new breed of client.
I don't know when it happened. I don't know the exact date, but at some point, he started to work with the drug cartels. And that was the beginning of the end. Because from there, if you survive, it is a short hop to becoming the consigliere to Heisenberg himself.
Among the Mexican cartels, one family is feared above all others. Ruthless and cruel, they rule their territory with an iron fist. When Saul Goodman's greed puts him on a collision course with the Salamancas, there's bound to be trouble. One day, it arrives in a smiling, handsome package.
$7 million, and I am so sorry. I can do that. Thing is, I'm gonna need you to pick it up.